Hi, my name is Walt Deane, and I'm the inventor of the Grabber Canvas Stretching Pliers. There's a few things I want to tell you about it before I set out to show you how to use it. There's a combination of things that are kind of unique in the marketplace. One of those things is that it has these locking pliers design. That's the basic platform on which this tool is designed. It locks in place and you get a good solid grip on the canvas. Another thing that helps you get a good solid grip on the canvas is that the inside of these jaws are machined perfectly smooth and perfectly straight. So when they come together, there's very little room for movement in there. And the inside is also treated with a slip-resistant material. Another thing that's great about this thing is that you can, with this lock nut right here, you can lock in the amount of pressure that you exert when you clamp it into place. So as you compare this tool with other tools that are out there on the market, be thinking about those differences. They're very important. I'm back. I went off camera and partially prepared this project. This is a customer project at the Rockport Gallery. And when you set out to perform a stretch like this, what you do is you secure one side, not using the tool, but you secure one side, and then you pull against that side with the canvas stretching tool on the opposite side. Off camera, I secured this side, and now I'm going to come in with the tool and show you how to perform that final stretch. Like I say, this was done by hand and this was done by hand. This was done using the stretcher, and this one will be used or done performing with the stretcher. Okay, what you do, there's a fulcrum on the back side. You use this tool in kind of an inverted position with the fulcrum pointing away from you. You gather the canvas and you take as much slack as you can not using the tool, and you come in and you place that fulcrum on the back side of this stretcher bar. It's just barely hanging over the lip. Now I'm going to perform a stretch here, and watch this line here to see what kind of stretch you get. There's no way for a person to get that kind of stretch. That stretch is about 1/4 of an inch or so. Doing that freehand, it just can't be done. So I'm going to come in here with the stapler. Stand that up a little bit. Come in again. The stretch. Come in again. When you do this, you don't want to be too close to the staple that's right next to it. If you're on top of it like this, you're liable to tear that. So you want to be about 1 inch away and give it a stretch. And what happens is it takes a while for canvas to rebound when you actually stretch it. And so that rebound, that lag time in the rebound, gives you time to come in with the stapler, applying hardly any pressure at all. Okay, let's see what, you already have a pretty good stretch. But I'm going to go off camera again and come back and prepare the corners for a wrap. I want to show you how to do that. I'm preparing the corners for the wrap here. And what I'm doing is I'm coming in, staying about 1/8 of an inch away from the wood, and I'm using this miter line as a gauge for cutting the canvas. You want to be really, really careful when you do this, and you don't want to be too close. I stay about 1/8 of an inch away from the wood when I do this, and that's so you don't have wood showing on the front side of your project. That would be not very good. So anyway, that's how I prepare the corners. I'm going to come back and show you how to wrap them. Off camera, I mitered these, the top and the bottom. Anytime you perform a project like this, you want to do the top and the bottom first. You want to do the sides last, and I'll show you at the end of this video why that is so. So anyway, I'm going to come in here, and when I cut this and prepared this for the corner wrap, I put a point on this canvas, this piece of canvas. It hangs over the edge, and I staple it down in place. That's going to be covered up when I fold this other side, so you won't see that staple in there. Pull this down, get in there with the staple. That way I don't have to mess around with it ever again. Now that that's done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish the stapling. That's the reason why I didn't staple all the way to the corners, is because you have to prepare the corners for the folding and the wrapping that takes place in that part of the project. So I'm going to go off camera and come back in just a little bit. Off camera, I finished up the wrap on the top and the bottom, and now I'm going to finish up a couple of these corners for you so you can show how, or so I can show you how the corners can be properly folded and stapled into place. I'm taking and I'm folding that. This is actually a piece of the side panel. I'm folding that over. I'm getting it to look the way I want. Lay it as flat as possible. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to cut just a little bit of an edge off of that with a nice sharp pair of scissors. And what that does is that allows you to place a cut right on that corner. And you come along afterwards, and I'm going to see if I can do this without getting in the way. You put a point on that piece. Then you fold it back to where you had it before you did that cut. And then you stretch it. I don't go all the way to the corner with this because I'm going to come along and put kind of a mitered appearance on that. Not everybody does that, but I like a nice clean back. I'm going to do this other one just so you can see how that goes. Pretty much the same way. You get it looking the way you want. Then you come along and you cut just a little bit of that edge off. I'm going to do it standing up so you can see how that goes. Then you unfold it. And then you put a point on it, like so. You fold it back the way you had it, and then you stretch it. Again, put in that fulcrum just on the inside edge of that stretcher bar. Give it a stretch. Kind of tug it a little bit in that direction, and come in here. Oops, I think that staple failed. I'm going to come along and take care of that later. Anyway, I'll go ahead and put a miter cut on the canvas. And then I trim the excess. And then I come in with a staple or two right in the corner. And this is the reason why you wrap the bottom and the top first, leaving this fold visible only from the side. This side panel looks almost perfect, just the way it is. And we already have a very, very tight wrap, and it'll get even tighter when I do this other side off camera. I came in and I finished up these last two corners, and this is what we get. That is a very taut canvas, and that's going to be like that for decades to come. So anyway, I hope you learned something with this, and I hope you'll try this tool. It produces very consistent results. And remember those features that I pointed out at the beginning. The perfectly flat jaws, the non-slip surface, the fact that it locks, the fact that you can lock your pressure setting, the pressure setting that you get when you snap it into place. Those are very important features. You won't find it. You won't find that combination of features in any other product that's out there. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.